5,000 Kenyans are stranded in Qatar with no jobs and no opportunities. Hungry, most of them are homeless. It's very sad. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's not a beautiful day for many Kenyans right now. I'm sure you're sitting in your home, somebody says sitting in your home at peace, watching TV and having food is one of the biggest underrated thing one can possibly think about. We underrate the opportunity of being in your home at your ease, watching your TV and eating whatever. I don't know if it's cassava, whatever you guys eat, pap or ugali, fufu, however you call it. It's underrated. Like, a lot of Africans feel like better life is somewhere else. In Europe, in the Middle East, in Shanghai, in Dubai. Underrating their own opportunities they left behind. The ability to sit in your home and have your cassava or your ugali or your fufu or your pap or however you call it and watch TV and sleep and sometimes fall asleep on the couch. Now, we got 5,000 Kenyans that are stranded in Qatar. This is a report from the Labour Cabinet Secretary, Alfred Mutua. We are in Kenya. Here's Kenya. Here's the map. We cannot presume that everybody knows where Kenya is. Beautiful country, lovely people. I was there for New Year's Eve last year. Great moment. Beautiful people. Amazing. But I didn't get a girlfriend there, though. I'm just kidding. Anyway, Kenya for you fellas. If you've never been to Africa, I suggest you go check out Kenya. If you live in Africa, West Africa, Central Africa, even South Africa, Kenya is one of those stops you cannot miss. Happy people. You'll find your people in Kenya. I don't care what type of person you are. If you're a good person, you will definitely find your people in Kenya. If you're not a nice person, you're probably going to find your people too in Kenya. Anyway, let's get back on track. 5,000 Kenyans stranded in Qatar. Mutua blame rogue recruitment agencies for misleading Kenyans with false promises of well-paying jobs abroad. So in Kenya, you find a lot, not just Kenya, okay, some of the countries in East Africa, you'll find these companies hiring people for abroad jobs. We got jobs for you in Dubai. You come and apply. We got jobs for you in Middle East, in Lebanon, in many places, in Qatar. Come and apply. But, it's not just an application. There is a trick. It's not just about you bringing your CV and getting recruited. There is a fee to it. So, above you bringing a CV about what you've achieved in the past, you need to bring a lump sum, okay? And generally, it goes about $2,000 approximately. And according to Mutua, some agency charged Kenyan job seekers up to 250,000 Kenyan shillings. That's about $2,000. Often leading people to sell their properties. People sell their properties to travel. They sell their properties hoping to go get a job abroad and make more money and come help their families. Just to be stranded with no job. People sell their properties and sometimes take on debt to afford the fee. It's very sad. So Mutua say, however, many of these jobs only last 3 months.
People have been conned. People have killed themselves because they have paid thousands of shillings, hundreds of thousands. People have sold their shambas and agents have eaten their money.
So even when there were jobs available, they didn't tell them the job is just going to last 3 months. These agencies tell you you're going to get a job. You're going to fix your family financially. You're going to make good things for your people. You're going to have a better life. And many of these Africans, unfortunately, that are not very educated, and it has nothing to do with education, matter of fact, because there are some people that went to university, got degrees, that still believe in this trap. And that gets me to a point of questioning the education system in most African countries. If somebody who's got a degree in university can be lied to like that, then I don't think a degree in university is a sign of intelligence. You will sell your property to go for a job, that will give you money so you can help your family. I mean, on an emotional level, you understand. Every human has a need. Look after the family. Make sure they're good. You will do a lot of things for your children to have a better life. But then there comes a level of thought. You need a second thought. You're selling something, your property, that you probably will never be able to get back by you going to a job that will end after 3 months. Muta said that most of these Kenyans traveled to Qatar during the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Do you remember that World Cup? Yes, it was in Qatar. It was big. Qatar invited or hired a lot of foreigners to come and work, people from Africa and from the deep side of Asia, poor Asia. Why? Because these people are cheap labor. Qatar is not going to hire Qataris to build buildings or stadiums. Qataris, for most cases, are rich people, so they need hands coming from poor countries, and therefore that's how many Kenyans got these opportunities. But unfortunately, they didn't know these opportunities would last only 3 months. Now they are stranded since 2022 to now, stranded, jobless, foodless, homeless, and being taken care of by international, charity organization. And that is a shame. That is a shame. So what's the reason for this? Why are these Africans, all these Kenyans, going into these places and getting stranded? As Akoto Mutua, who's the Labor Cabinet Secretary of Kenya, he says corruption is the major factor behind exploitation and job seekers, with agencies pocketing high fee while failing to secure sustainable employment for recruits. So maybe you don't know it. In most African countries, corruption is religion. Okay. There aren't many African countries where you get stopped by the police. Even before they ask you for your driver's license, they're like already asking you for cold drink or a beer. Not even a beer. Piece of bread, or cake. They will ask you for something. They'll make it very playful for you to give some money.
Give me something. Give me something. Give me something. Money.
Why?
And that doesn't stop there. You will see the same things in offices. For your document to be signed faster, for your documents administratively to be give to the attention that it requires, you need to give money. I mean, just imagine you go to a country and you want to be legal in that country. So you have to go to Home Affairs office and declare and explain why you want to stay longer for a job or whatever. Now, if you go the normal way, I'm just explaining for our friends that don't live in Africa. If you go the normal way, it's probably going to take you 2 months to get your document back, to get your visa back, if not 6 months. Now, if you go and you pay somebody some money, they're going to make sure that your document is back within a week, if not 3 days. In a normal way, you should have gotten your document in 3 days. They make it absolutely complicated for you to get documents just so they can get money. I mean, they do this even in embassies. There is a South African embassy in one country I'm not going to name. In this embassy, for you to get a South African visa, you either going to pay money about $1,000 to get your visa processed within a week in a reasonable manner, or if you want to be the normal, I don't corrupt, I don't give whatever, you're going to wait for about 3 months before they say, no, sorry, your visa was refused. Did you hear me? For a service that was supposed to be normally provided to you within 7 days, they're going to make it very difficult for you to give money. If you give money, you're going to get it within 7 days. If you don't pay any money, you're going to wait 6 months. In some borders in Africa where you are actually visa free, this is things we heard, travelers, even across Tanzania, which is a beautiful country, lovely place, people traveling by road, but when they get to the border, you're either going to give your passport to put money inside. If you don't put money inside your passport, they're going to give it back to you. Like, hey, go back. Yeah, they're going to ask you to go back behind the queue. When you give your passport, you must make sure there's money inside. You can go double check that. It's very sad because the system says people can come freely, okay? But somebody with his anger and greed says you must put money in a passport. And that's exactly what people are living in most African countries. You can't get a job if you don't give money. You have to give money to the recruiter, even in Africa, for you to get a job. Same in Nairobi, same in the entirety of Kenya. You need to provide something to get a job, because that's what creates all these other problems we're seeing. Number one, people living in the continent looking for better opportunities in places where they're going to be mistreated. You see how they treat people in Middle East. African people. You see how they treat people in India. You see how our sisters are always crying. They lie to them. We got jobs for you in Saudi Arabia. They go get mistreated in these countries. They make them work 20 hours a day, sleep for an hour. And sometimes the boss want to touch them in a way that you can understand, which is unacceptable. Some of these women are married, and it doesn't even matter whether you're married or not. They are violated. Why? Because situation home is just very difficult. Why is it difficult? Because we Africans make it difficult for each other. Give me the paper. It's mine. Okay? I come to your office, just provide your service. Don't make things complicated for me so you can eat. If you need more money, how about you strike against your superiors? How about you voice yourself with people just like you so they can treat you appropriately? We cannot create a bottleneck and continue pressing on the bottleneck instead of applying pressure on the leaders. The leaders are not doing the job properly. If you feel stranded, you feel you're not eating properly, if you feel the need to add a fee to a service that does not belong to you, it's the leaders that are not okay. Let me know how you feel about this. 5,000 Kenyans stranded in Qatar. They have no jobs, no financial support. They're hungry. Okay, usually when people are that way, they're not treated with respect. Absolutely not. And it's sad. Why? Because of the things that happen in Kenya. And also they were promised by these companies, these rogue, fake companies, offering people fake jobs, and they don't care, provided they get $2,000 from you for recruitment. Whatever happens to you next is none of the business. Let me know how you feel about this. It's always a great pleasure. God bless.